All right, over here, the right side of Terminus, newly remade, is our Zerg player. How will he handle this bigger map? It's from the Team Zenex. His name is
Kyrix.
Actually, that's his ID. His real name is something different. His name to you and me is Kyrix. Down at the bottom of the map in the 6 o'clock position, with some really nice play last game, is our Blue Terran.
GuMiho.
The name that rhymes. The Towel Terran. Using his mouse like that.
Yeah, he basically won the game with 4 Hellions.
Yeah, he did a lot of damage.
He killed so many drones with those early Hellions that Kyrix could never come back in the game. He had to drone up again instead of building units, and so when the attack came, he had no units.
The one thing in that first game where GuMiho did that, I was like, is that in that first initial bigger push, he didn't quite split his Marines as well as he could have. He lost a lot to the banelings there, but other than that, he played a really, really solid, good game. Now, I think this map is suddenly going to be a little bit tougher for Zerg. They can't take a third as quick as they normally would want to. I'm wondering how Kyrix is going to kind of deal with that. He doesn't take a lot of third bases anyway, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Still a very good Zerg player.
Well, we did see, we've seen different responses to that kind of situation. Like Monster, for instance, and this was a Zerg versus Protoss, so it was a little bit different, of course, but, you know, we saw him take both different options. He, on one game where he couldn't take a quick third, he got to a quick lair instead.
Yeah.
Went for fast infestors. In another game, he actually took a third on a different part of the map where there was no rocks, and that's a strong possibility on Terminus, especially if the Terran's going to fast expand, because there's so many places all over the map, and they're so far away it's hard for the Terran to get to.
Oh, I really like this little wall off by GuMiho. You can put that add-on down there, and even if he doesn't want to, he's got the factory right there, so that's very cool. Nice. I like that. You're going to have to steal that next time we play on this map. It's very cool. So we might see something similar to last game. Doesn't look like it. Oh, looks like you can't put the add-on in anyway. Never mind, the add-on. A little bit of a gas steal from Kyrix. And, yeah, I mean, despite Kyrix, you know, even if he's knocked out here, he's still a very good Zerg player. I mean, being in Code B is still being in, like, the top 0.01% of Starcraft players in the world. I mean, he's still really good.
Yeah, definitely. So that reactor is just about to finish. He's trying to switch it up and get those Hellions out.
You're not going anywhere, drone.
Drone dies. Almost got away. Well, actually, it was never going to get away.
No, it never had any chance. But the SCV dies as well. Blood for blood, Moltrap. And it will be a reactor expand.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
I know. It's a Zergling-eat SCV world as well. Tech lab right away. Going down, that's probably going to get switched over at the factory pretty soon, unless he decides to do something similar to last game.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be very, very similar to the previous game. It worked for him last time. No reason for GuMiho to change things up this time.
We can do a couple different ways. You know, you can get those first 2 Hellions, then you can switch it over, go for a faster Blue Flamer or, you know, Siege mode if you want to, or you can make, you know, 4 to 6 Hellions, switch it over a little bit later, or you just don't switch it and then get Siege or Stim.
Yeah. Now in this map, oh, the Hellion's going to get by. He does run the by.
Yes, he does.
Not going to get too many drones or anything with just the 2 Hellions. I think that might have been just a waste of Hellions, actually.
Those Hellions were coated in butter, man. They just like slipped between those queens. Maybe the queens were coated in goo and it's just hard to grab onto things.
Anyway, point being, on this map, there's a choke point, so he can't just run his Hellions by as easily. The Spine Corruptor blocked them a lot.
Do you see what GuMiho is doing? He's actually going Hellion into Banshee. This is very cool. We don't see this very often. This is a feared build on the Korean ladder, but we don't see it too often in the GSL. I'm really excited to see this. I like this build a lot, actually. It can really catch your opponent off guard. You can see right now, Kyrix is producing a Roach Warren. And you know what, Moltrap? That's not going to help against Banshees very much.
No, it's not going to help a single bit.
No.
In fact, Banshees are a good thing to get if your opponent is going Roaches.
Now, Kyrix is getting his lair pretty quickly here, so he'll be able to make an Overseer. I don't know if it's going to be done in time, though.
No.
That's the question.
I don't think it'll quite be done in time. Cloak is less than a minute for finishing. The lair is a minute for finishing as well, so it'll be close. But the Banshees will have some time while they're cloaked, and there's not going to be any answer for it.
Yep.
There's no Evo chamber on the map either, so it's going to be really hard pressed to deal with this. Only 2 queens on the map. This is actually going to be really tough for Kyrix to hold off.
Certainly could be, yeah. Lair is about 4/5 of the way done, if I had to get exact about it. Cloak is almost done as well for the Banshee. First Banshee is on the way.
When you said 4/5, it was exactly 3/4 done.
I don't care. I'm just estimating.
Just kidding.
He's going to go after drones.
There's
Cloak
the cloak.
is out. And Overseer immediately being morphed by Kyrix, but he's going to take some damage before it comes out. Oh, losing a good amount of drones here. And moving down to the natural as well. Yeah, and there's only going to be 1 Overseer out right now. So the second Banshee is going to come in and do some damage as well. A lot of drones getting killed. 9 kills for that Banshee. Sees the Spire.
I'm a little surprised he didn't just get 2 Banshees and target down the Queen and just win.
That's another way you can do it too, yeah. I mean, there was more than 1 Queen there. The second Queen showed up in time.
That's true. Well, you're right. I guess the second. You're right. The second Banshee came in a little bit too late for that. Never mind.
Yep.
I thought it was really close behind, but it wasn't. Getting a lot more
situation either way.
Getting a lot more drone kills here in the background. Spore Crawler.
Oh, Roach is coming into the natural though, but again, only 4 Roaches. These Marines should be able to handle it pretty easily. They're like, it's just a bigger target.
Yeah.
Oh, looks Hellion's not doing too well.
Yeah, this is looking really bad. Kyrix is down to 39 drones. He's not completely out of it yet. Not as much damage done as those Hellions did, but look at that. 19 workers killed.
Yeah, that's not really the screen you want to see if you're a Kyrix fan, unfortunately.
Now, he did lose both Banshees, though. So
oh, he did? Oh, I didn't see that.
If he kept those Banshees alive, he'd be in a really good spot, but he's not.
Interesting.
Forced 2 Overseers, though.
Well, Kyrix is definitely not out of this game yet, by far.
No, actually, I thought he was kind of out of it, but then I realized that he actually didn't lose as many drones as I thought. He killed the Banshees. He's got his Spire. He's starting to get Mutalisks out, so he's not terrible position.
Now here we can see a bit of the drawback of going for those Banshees, is that if you don't do a ton of damage, then your push that follows up is going to be a lot less effective anyway, because it's going to be a smaller push, so you need to do a lot of initial damage with those Banshees to make your later push work. And I don't know if he really did enough damage. I think he's close. Maybe he did, but I don't know. Still a scary push either way. Nice medevac micro there. I always love it when they have it hotkeyed with the rest of the arm.
Yeah, that's hilarious. A few Mutalisks are out, but he just might not have enough units. He's got a few Zerglings in the back.
Yep.
But
looking bad.
No Baneling Nest.
Yeah, no Baneling Nest at all. Just a couple lings coming out piecemeal. And Kyrix is going to need to be very patient about this. He's going to lose a lot no matter what.
Yeah.
Those Banshees did do enough damage, it looks like. The Meat Grinder.
The Mutalisks coming back from GuMiho's base to help out with this defense. Are going to barely help defend, but he loses so many drones.
Yeah, loses every drone in the natural, actually. And he's going to lose, GuMiho's going to lose these tanks to the Mutas. But, you know, he's producing more stuff back home, producing 4 Marines at once.
Yeah.
It's going to be just fine.
That was just horrible timing for Kyrix. His Mutalisks had just flown across the map over to GuMiho's base, and right when that attack landed, so he had to fly them all the way back to his main to help defend because he couldn't attack. The turret was going to be too much.
Yeah.
And so really bad timing there, but Kyrix now is able to do some harassment here.
Yep. Replacement turret on the way.
And the Viking.
Really late stim from GuMiho too. I mean, all of this is because of the switch to Banshees, and I still, you know, kind of have my doubts if it was worth it or not. I think he did do enough damage, but it was kind of close. He was kind of on the edge of not doing enough. That's a really dangerous position. If you don't do enough damage with those Banshees, then you're just in trouble. But it looks like he's okay here for the moment Anyway, the Mutas, though, able to do a lot of damage.
That add-on and that turret never stood a chance.
Nope. No armory either, so he's not going to have a Thor in his main anytime soon to kind of hold off that Muta harass either. He's going to need to sit at home for a little bit.
Yep. Well, Kyrix has ceased Mutalisk production. He's trying to get his economy going instead.
Yeah.
Getting more drones, getting Baneling speed, getting a third base.
Now, what's the worker count again right now?
Almost got that tank. Worker count
Check
is
it out.
at 45 drones to 45 SCVs.
Okay.
A few
So-
mules are in the mix, of course, as well.
Even Kyrix's third base is building. GuMiho does not have a third quite yet. His third command center just now finishing. So economically, they're about even, although even workers in TVZ generally is better for the Terran because of mules, of course.
And Kyrix is really doing a really good job of kind of fighting by the skin of his teeth right here.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a drop going in towards the main, though, and the mulists are out of position.
Now, some of the army got caught up at the choke there. That's the disadvantage of making that reactor at that point, is sometimes your units can get kind of caught up, and then the mutas can come in, and then they can kill your marines and your tanks, Moltrap.
Oh no, he might
That's
get 2
not
tanks
good.
really for free. But the drop has cleared out the drones from the main, sending them to the natural. So Banelings are going to clear that up, but not before the score goes down.
Yeah. The Banelings. They hit
And-
the marines, start rolling for joy.
Kyrix is really doing a good job. Oh, never mind. Really doing a good, not actually a good job. He had been doing a good job of using those very few mutalisks. He only made 10 mutalisks.
Yeah.
And with those 10 mutalisks, he killed a bunch of buildings and kept GuMiho in his base long enough to get some drones out.
His harassment was really good for a little while, but you know, the bottom line is that he was so far behind that it let GuMiho build up this big army that eventually he was going to have to deal with, you know, mutalisk harassment or not. So
Yeah.
it's a tough situation right now.
It's
for,
all going to come
Kyrix.
down to defending this attack. Here comes the Banelings. No.
Oh,
Can't get
it's
close enough.
time to micro pretty soon. Oh, run! Oh, 5 Marines bite the dust of that one.
And it's just basically comes down to this attack. GuMiho is pressing in really hard.
Yep.
And Kyrix needs to hold this off. He's really wants to keep building drones, but he just can't afford to right now. He needs to build units at this point. Lots of Zerglings being created. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Here he goes in, running with a lot of Zerglings. The tank's not quite all sieged up. Mutalisk coming from the back, and that is not quite going to kill everything. Oh, actually.
Yeah, well, with the reinforcements, he's
not
gonna
with
be
the
okay.
reinforcements there.
Yeah, it was close. I
And
mean, it was a good
3,
engagement. But
2.
you were close. That was a good countdown, man. Well, there you have it. Another long-time GSL player knocked out, but congratulations, GuMiho. The Towel Terran triumphs totally on Terminus.
Tubular.
That's right. High five to Joya there. And Kyrix,
Very good alliteration.
I feel bad for this guy. I've liked watching him play. He's shown us a lot of great games over the last year or so in the GSL, but time to go back in the gravity chamber, time to train up, come back. It's not the end of the line if you get knocked out of GSL.
No.
You know, we've seen that. It just means that you need a little bit more practice. Code A especially is so competitive that all these guys have, you know, risk of being knocked out. I mean, Boxer's not in Code A even now, so there's a lot of good players in Code B.
Yeah, sad to see a Zerg get knocked out there, but I can't say I'm too sad to see Kyrix go, to be honest. I don't think he's been very inspiring for a while now. He's been kind of falling behind the curve.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
In that sense, I'm not saying I dislike the guy or anything like that. He's
You
definitely
just hate him. You just hate Kyrix. You like go and egg his car or something like that. Stop being so mean to Kyrix, Moltrap.
He probably doesn't have a car. I'll have to egg his bike.
That's probably true. Egg the
egg the
subway car he's
subway.
riding. Everyone else on the subway like, what's that guy doing? That doesn't make any sense. It's like, this is for you, Kyrix. Yeah.
Point being, I would like to see more new blood coming up, such as Monster instead.
Monster's an exciting Zerg,
So we'll have to see if Monster can bring home the bacon to go with those eggs. Or not.
The eggs are for Kyrix. The bacon is for Monster, I guess.
Yeah, anyway, we're going to review our results here for the morning matches in just a minute here.
Yeah.
But we've definitely seen some awesome games today. Some really exciting play from a lot of
cool
newer players as well. So
Select was really fun to watch. That was an awesome match.
So solid.
You guys are just tuning in now, like, go watch the VOD when it comes up on the website in like an hour or two or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually we have the VODs up pretty quick after the broadcast.
Well, all these people are going to be up anyway because there's another session, right? You guys are going to watch that, aren't you? I mean, I'm going to. You're going to be there. I mean, yeah. Well, check it out, guys. Here are our results so far today. We had MVP SC triumphant over TSL Revival. Dignitas Select taking down Slayers Alicia. MVP Monster, knocking out OGSMC. That was crazy. And FXO GuMiho stomping Kyrix flat like a Zergy bug.
That's right.
It was a smackdown.
And so as you can see with the way the brackets line up, that means FC and Select are going to play in the round of 16, and Monster and GuMiho are going to play in the round of 16.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting. And of course, 2 hours from now, less than 2 hours from now, we'll have our next set of games starting. Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Shining Star, Violet versus Hero, Sniper versus Curious, and Maka versus Show.
Maka versus Show should be really cool. I have seen Show take games off some of the best Terrans in the world. He took a game off of MMA at Columbus. I know he's taken a couple of games off of other people along the line.
Yeah.
So I'd say, you know, we'll see what he can do against Maka. Maka's a good Terran, though. So.
All right, so 2 hours from now, do not forget to tune back in for some more GSL action. But that is going to do it for our afternoon group. We hope you guys enjoyed it very much. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, thanks again to Sony Ericsson, G-Skill, all that. Tweet at Moletrap, at Doa. If you have anything you want to say about those games.
I'm actually Gosu Doa now.
Gosu Doa,
they won't
that's
find
right.
me otherwise.
All right, so that's pretty much it. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
If love's a fight, then I shall die with my heart on a trip.